read every fucking theory on how they built those pyramids. The Great Pyramid of Giza has 2,300,000.
Let's get this fucking video to 10 likes on YouTube, bro. 10 likes. 10 likes on YouTube and then do more TikTok conspiracies, bro. 10 likes on YouTube, bro. Let's go. Let's go.
Stones in it. Some of them are the weigh between 2 and 80 tons. Some of them are cut from a quarry that's hundreds of miles away. These things point, that pyramid is shaped perfectly. Like, if you fucked up like a quarter inch there, a half inch here, by the time you get to the top, that thing's a mess. But meanwhile, it's not. It's perfect. It's also perfectly aligned to true.
That's facts. That's facts. That's facts. The pyramids are so well crafted. It's ridiculous, bro. How good they are crafted, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy how good they are, bro. I don't know how they did that shit. I don't know what they did. It's crazy. It's crazy. For real.
North, south, east, and west, and they're not really sure how old it is. They think it's they date it to 2,500 BC, but that's just because of organic particles that they pulled from inside stones. But they also say that they probably could have sealed those stones and resealed those stones over time. You're dealing with like a gigantic mystery of unfathomable proportion. I've read every fucking theory on how.
There's also a conspiracy theory about a movie that came out recently too.
What movie?
The Sound of Freedom. That whole thing is trying to give awareness about child right? There's theories. Everyone who's gone into movies to watch it, the movie theaters have teamed
They
up.
stopped it.
Yeah, trying not to sell tickets, trying not for people to watch it.
Yeah.
I've seen one where it's
crazy.
like, oh, the person tries to buy tickets. They said it's fully sold out. Goes in the movie theater, nobody there.
There's no one in here. And then it said that they were sold out.
Another one, the guy comes in, he's like, oh, we have to download the movie. It's gonna take an hour. We can give you your movie back. Like, you guys can walk out. Fam,
They're like
that never happens.
They're trying to stop them from watching it.
Exactly. And the two main ones they have been doing, turn off the AC so it's hot as hell in there.
Oh, word.
And then
Just to let you guys know again, it is gonna get hot. It is gonna be like that throughout the whole movie.
So why is it only this one though, not all the other ones?
the movies usually,
Yeah.
dim the lights when it goes on. The lights stay on the whole time. And people complain.
So they don't want to stay there and watch the whole thing. There's a deeper conspiracy onto that.
There's also a conspiracy theory about a movie.
That's
Have you
crazy.
seen the theory about clocks?
No.
That's
So when you look
crazy.
at a clock, it looks pretty normal. You never think anything of it. But what if I told you there's actually a really dark theory behind the idea of a clock?
What?
Right, you go across the clock, across the way, you see like 11 and 1, it equals 12. 10 and 2 equals 12. 9 and 3 equals 12. 8 and 4 equals 12. 7 and 5 equals 12. And then 6 plus 6 equals 12. They all equal 12.
Wait, what does that mean though?
Well, also think about this. When you go diagonally and look at the numbers and you subtract it, like 12 minus 6 equals 6. 11 minus 5 equals 6. 10 minus 4 equals 6.
Wait, what is going on?
But wait, if you look at this a different way too, if you look across, 12 plus 1 equals 13. 11 and 2 equals 13. 10 and 3 equals 13. 9 and 4 equals 13. It all equals 13.
So what's the theory?
You look at all the numbers, right? It's just weird how you go different formulations and they all equal the same.
That's actually kind of scary.
I don't really want to get into like the exact thing that I saw, but it is weird how everything, equals the same. Comment if you guys know what that is.
Dude,
I don't know.
What does that mean? Exactly. So the guy in the comments says, starts explaining the dark clock theory, then proceeds to not explain it. Like what's the logic in that? Like, be honest though, what's the logic in that? You start talking about something, then not explain the reason. Man, kick rocks, bro.
So, did you hear the story about what happened to the guy from Friends? Like the sitcom Friends? His name is Matthew Perry, right? And he passed away by drowning inside his own jacuzzi. A lot of people question the credibility of the cause of his death. They think it's strange. And there's a valid reason for this. And this is because he took a picture of him in that same jacuzzi that night. That same night it happened. Something else happened that makes it a bit more scary. Prior to passing away, he was posting about Batman on his social media. And then there was a video of somebody throwing down 3 cranberries on a table. Bear in mind, that was his last video. Well, listen to this, right? There was a band named The Cranberries. And guess what? Well, their lead singer just happened to also drown. In addition to that, apparently he wrote a book, right? Yeah, at the end of this book, he said if he ever threw out the Batman symbol, he's in trouble. Some people believe that it is like a ritual or something, and he was like a sacrifice. What do you think genuinely happened? So,
That's crazy.
Scariest conspiracy.
Yeah, I think that he was a sacrifice though. The guy from Friends, bro. What y'all think? Comment down below in the YouTube video, and let me know, bro. Let me know.
Theories in the world that will seriously change your life. This shows a list of all the conspiracy theories in the world, from the top, the most well-known, to the bottom, the darkest of the dark, that will change your life. And welcome back, guys. Of course, as you know by now, in this series we're going from the top to the bottom, so I don't even know what part this is, but let's go. I don't like this one. I don't like it. This is solipsism. Genuinely, if you suffer from paranoia or anxiety or anything like that, just don't watch this. Like, I actually mean it this time. Right, so you are the only real person. Everyone around you is literally an NPC, so am I. Wait, what? This is what solipsism is, just have a little read. I believe that only one's mind is actually sure to exist, which is true. The scary thing about this is there is no way to prove or disprove this. Ever, ever, ever. So everything around you is fake, everybody around you is fake, only you are real. When you look at things, when you turn around, things just spawn in. But you are completely alone in this place, and everybody is just your brain's way of making you not feel so alone. Boom.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? I actually think I'm the main character. I actually think I'm the main character in like the life I'm living right now. I think I'm the main character for some reason. And another guy might think he's the main character. Another guy might think he's the main character. But for me, I think everybody is fake and I'm real. It's just me though.
Boom. Mind blown. See you in the next.
I have a theory, bro. This is crazy. I think Travis's Utopia album is all music for the apocalypse. You hear what he said there?
Yeah, the trumpets.
Might as well turn up now. He might pop up unannounced. You hear the trumpets. Do you like the way it sounds? You know what that is?
Isn't that God?
Yeah, so in the book of Revelation in the Bible, fam, they say during the end of the world, we're gonna hear 7 trumpets. 7 angels playing 1 trumpet each. Since we know, like in the Bible, it says we're gonna hear 7 trumpets. What if trumpets is a metaphor for a music artist? Somebody would have played the trumpet, an angel played the trumpet. What if there's like 7 people that will kind of spread this message, and once that 7th person is done making their music, it's the end of the world. So far, it might be like 2 out of 7 or like 3 out of 7. Like, Ye made an album like that. I have a theory, bro. This is crazy.
That's wild. I don't believe this. That's wild. That's a wild theory. Just because of one Travis song line, that's wild, bro.
Crazy. I think Travis's Utopia album.
J. Cole released a song called She Knows.
Yeah.
Do you get a really creepy vibe from it?
I like that song though.
Really? A lot of people who's came out on like Reddit threads,
Yeah.
they're like, that song by J. Cole, it gives me a weird like creepy vibe, right? It's cause the beat is like talking. So what they researched, so he sampled a song called Bad Things by a band named Cults. So the whole thing was named Cults. So Cults also sampled something from their song. And it was actually like a voice recorder of the Jim Jones massacre.
Oh,
So
shit.
in the back, remember, it's like, she knows. You hear like kids screaming. And
No way.
Yeah, there was a voice recorder of the death and the massacre of all these kids in the back of these songs.
In the J. Cole song. So it's in the J. Cole song today.
Fam, you can hear it. And then she goes, she knows.
That's what. That's what.
You know we're gonna play that. You know we're gonna play that. You know we're gonna play that song.
Interesting idea. Now this
I really
is
do
scary.
believe this.
I'm not sure if it's true or not, but there's a theory going around. It's more like a religious theory. I saw a TikTok video where a preacher was talking and he spoke about something very interesting idea. What if God is actually water? Think about it for us.
What if water is God?
Then that would mean God is both in us and all around us. That God is both above and below us. Why a woman's water breaks when we're born.
But there's more. We often say that God is everything. Well, if that's true, then everything around us would be what? Water. There's water in the air even though we can't see it. There's water inside you, inside me, and in every living thing. Now consider places where water is scarce, like deserts or wastelands.
Bro, that is facts.
What do you
bro.
usually find there?
That is facts.
Death.
Death.
Because of
Death. That is facts, bro. I have never thought about it like this. Like I've never until now.
The lack of water.
Bro, I might do more conspiracies, bro. This is crazy.
And it's scorching, like hell. Here's something else. In the Bible, when Jesus was tempted by the devil, where was he? In the desert. He was searching for water. Now this
guy in the comments, bro. Like seriously, this guy in the comments says, I'm on the toilet watching this right now, and I'm uncomfortable because water is in the toilet. Bro, that's not what he meant. That's not what he meant, bro. Chill.
The Titanic was actually a hit job.
For real?
Yeah, Titanic was a hit job. So basically what happened was all the richest people in the world in 1912 were supposed to be on this ship. You had the Rothschilds and their basically lackeys at that time who were called J.P. Morgan. There's also another guy who was on that ship. His name was Mr. Uster. He was the richest man in America at that time. He owned 40% of every mortgage in America. Imagine 40%. This guy's a gangster. I'm not saying he's a good guy. But basically, this guy was in the way of the Federal Reserve. They wanted to create a central bank, the Rothschilds. They can't just take someone out of that importance. You know, this guy's just too important to shoot. Just can't kill him. So what they basically did, they made this big deal of, you know, everyone going on the ship. And then in the last seconds, all the Rothschilds people exited the ship. Like right before it was about to take off. The ship sunk. The richest guy in America died on the ship. All the politicians who he was basically bribing, all that money evaporated. So they went all to the Rothschild side. And then next year, 1913, they started the Federal Reserve Bank because there was no more opposition to it. That time.
I believe this is real. I believe this is real. I believe they sacrificed over, I don't know how many people died, but I know it's over 200 people died. I believe he died for what America is today. I believe he died for that. I believe he did. And this is true. The Rothschilds have always had power, bro, and still do. They're the most powerful family in America. And you will never know if nobody talks about them. They're the richest family in America too. And nobody knows their exact wealth. They're one of the richest families in the entire world. Nobody knows their exact wealth. And this is crazy. I believe this. I really do believe this. I really do believe this.
Ancient civilizations were far more advanced than we thought. First, let's talk about the ancient Egyptians. This is the Orion's Belt, a star constellation. Is it a coincidence that it perfectly lines up with the pyramids of Giza? Now, what's crazy to me is that the speed of light and the altitude of the pyramids are the same number. It's also mind-blowing that the pyramids line up with the motherboard of a modern computer. It's also shocking that ancient cave drawings have depictions of light bulbs. So what if this is a proof that ancient civilizations were far more...
There's this Game of Thrones theory I really want.
Ancient civilization.
These theories are crazy, and I believe some of them.
There's this Game of Thrones theory I really want to talk about.
Okay.
So there's a theory that Robert Baratheon in Game of Thrones cursed all of the Starks at the beginning of the show, episode 1. Check this out. So remember when he goes to Winterfell and he greets everybody, right?
Yeah.
So he says hello to his friend, Ned, who ends up dying, right? Because he, you know, everything happens, but...
Who have we here?
Look who he says.
It must be Rob.
So he says hi to Rob, right?
Okay.
First he shakes Ned's hand, then he shakes Rob's. Both of them became king and died. Now check this. He says... To Sansa Stark, right? He says, you're a pretty one. Later in the show, Sansa, right?
Yeah.
She ends up becoming kind of like a slave bride to the king, the bastard king.
Yeah.
So you're a pretty one. So he cursed her right there, fam.
Oh my
Look what he says to Arya.
Okay.
Your name is?
Arya.
She says, your name is... In the show, fam, Arya Stark, what happens to her? She becomes the girl of no name. What? She becomes the girl of no name because she can change her face and she becomes nobody. She literally becomes nobody. Now check this out. He says hi to to Bran, he says, "Show us your muscles." Bran, in the first
Paradise.
episode, literally later in the episode, fam,
Paradise.
becomes a cripple.
Wow.
He says, "Show us your muscles." He becomes a cripple.
What the fuck?
Robert Baratheon cursed the whole Stark family
Yeah.
beginning of the show, episode.
That is crazy. That is crazy. I think that's a gem. I think that's a gem right there. That's a gem. That's a gem. That's
You
a
ever
gem.
heard the color theory?
What's the color theory?
They say if you don't know the name of a color, that you can't see it.
I can't see it.
It doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
It does. They did a test. A bunch of shades of green and then one blue one. And they brought this color palette to these tribalists somewhere in the Amazon. In their language, they have no word for blue. They only have words for green. A bunch of green and then one blue. When they showed it to the natives, they were so confused. They took like hours, literally hours to decipher like which one is the blue one. But is it not obvious?
Yeah.
It's obvious to us because we know the name blue and the name green. Now, what's crazier, they did one with a bunch of different shades of green.
Oh, that one fucked them up.
Yeah.
For sure.
No. Check this
That
out.
one fucked them
No, the opposite. They were able to point that out in seconds. In their language, they have multiple words for the shades of green because that's all they see in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Now, hear me out. If we point outside and look at some, you ever heard the color theory?
What's the color
That's
theory?
true. That's true. Because in the wilderness, there's very green and probably brown. But it should have blue though, because there are blue flowers in the. Man, sometimes these guys come up with some bullshit ass theories, bro.
Now, this is scary. I'm not sure if this is true or not, but there's a theory. Well, it's more like a religious theory. I saw this TikTok, and he was a preacher, right? He was saying, what if God is actually water?
Let me explain the eyes wide shut conspiracy theory. So it's well known that the cut presented a few days before Kubrick's death was too jarring for executives that they cut 25 minutes out without Kubrick there to oppose the decision. This left many storylines seemingly unresolved, so we're not really sure if the story is actually what was intended. The crazy thing is that they asked Kubrick to cut the scenes before he died, and he said no. So the conspiracy is that he made a movie about this sensitive subject of exposing the elites, refused to cut the touchy scenes when asked, died a few days later only to have the studio cut the scenes anyways. It's a conspiracy, but it really makes you think. Let me explain.
Yeah, we all know the big guys don't like their secrets being out there. So if you don't comply, you die. Simple as that.
And it's mostly just a big ball of lava. That's Earth. But 10,000 feet is not a big deal.
Have you given any consideration whatsoever to the flat Earth movement?
Haha. I think that's a troll situation.
Oh, it's not. No, it's not. You would like to think that
Okay.
because you're a super genius. But I, as a normal person, I know there's people way dumber than me. And they really, really believe. They watch YouTube videos which go on uninterrupted and spew out a bunch of fucking fake facts very eloquently and articulately. And they really believe. These people really believe.
I mean, if it works for them, sure. Fine.
Weird though, right?
So if the Earth is flat, wouldn't somebody fall off already? Wouldn't somebody fall off already? But the thing is with me, I believe we're all in a simulation. I believe we are. Because look at this. Look at this. The Earth is not a circle, it's a sphere, basically. That's what they said. It's a sphere. Look at this shit. If you live right here, if you live here, wouldn't you fall off? If you live on the bottom of here, wouldn't you fall off? I don't know. They say gravity holds everything together. You get me? What goes up must come down. We all know that. We all know that saying. But if you live here, gravity holds you down. That's what I think. And I think we are not real. We are in a simulation. We are not real. Something is going on and we don't know. I believe in my bones that something is going on and we don't know what's going on. I believe so. I really believe so. Something is going on and we don't know. We don't know what's going on.
So you know what Mandela effect is, right? You know, when you remember something being different to what it actually is, right? Like a logo or something. Well, this woman gave the example of the Fruit of the Loom logo. She said the Fruit of the Loom logo used to have a cornucopia on it, like a horn. Fruit of the Loom was like, we've never ever had that, and they went so far as to create an illustration of their logo all throughout the years, none of them showing the cornucopia. That's impossible. This chick went so crazy about it. Like, she was talking to her therapist, and her therapist is like, chill out about Fruit of the Loom. And then she was like, I'm not kidding. It has definitely had a cornucopia in it, and I'm gonna die on this hill. She went through her whole closet and like friends' closets and stuff, and she finally found a t-shirt that had the Fruit of the Loom logo with a cornucopia. And she went as far as to go look at the old like trademarks and stuff, like USA government trademarks. And she found an illustration of the cornucopia. Like, what is up with that? Why would they gaslighting us? The theory is that it's a giant experiment, worldwide experiment, to see how easy it is to erase history. It makes perfect sense. They just had certain brands that opt up for it or something. So you know what Mandela...
Wow, bro. Wow. How come I have never reacted to conspiracies before? How come? Where was I? Bro, what? What? Bro, something is going on out there and we are so blind. We are so blind.
Did you know about this? There's a theory that Antarctica isn't a regular continent, but a giant ice wall that exists to prevent us from seeing the rest of the world's continents, as well as hiding other species away from us. Nobody has ever
I believe so.
managed to reach the wall without freezing to death, and around 162 people have gone missing in the past attempting to find it. Did you know about this?
Yo, so I heard this theory on our stereo that humans are actually older than we think. Now, the theory states that we came from Mars and we had advanced technology to fly over, and we left Mars because our planet got destroyed.
That humans are
So
actually
check this
way
out.
older than we seem to be. We're not even from this Earth. We're the aliens.
What
here.
if we're actually the aliens?
Look at everything
Yeah.
around you. Everything is united except us. Our circadian rhythm is tied to Mars.
No, if
That's
you
where
if you
we're
really
from.
take it in our galaxy, we're one little speck.
Because who knows if we had fucking advanced technology to even build the pyramids, fly over here, something happened, we lost all trace of that technology, and we pretty much restarted on Earth with whatever was left there. And think about it, what if they had some crazy disaster that happened to the world, and that's why Mars is just like a wasteland. So if you guys...
Nah, I don't believe so. I don't believe we're from Mars. I believe that we are here. I believe that there are people here before us. I believe that there are people here before us that were smarter than us, and they left, and we came here after. That would eliminate the belief in God, yes, but at the same time, you have to think about certain things that can't be explained, like the huge craters, the dinosaur theory, the pyramids. We don't know how to explain that shit. There's a bunch of stuff that we don't know to explain. I believe that we came here after the smart people left.
You guys want to send us your theory? Reply to our soundbite on stereo.
Project Bluebeam. By far the scariest years we may see. This conspiracy achieved its status in 1994 by a book that was written by Serge Monast. In the book, the writer describes how the United Nations, in collaboration with NASA's technology, will unite the whole world under a new false religion. But how? There will be, supposedly, an alien invasion, which is all part of the whole show, of course. And one day, a hero, a god, will come from the skies and destroy these aliens. And us, human beings, we will not believe our own eyes and start to worship this god. Whatever this god orders will happen. One world order. This is called the Project Bluebeam. Now, I don't believe that they have the technology that is capable of...
Yo.
deceiving us yet. But in the near future, they might very well be able to make them. If you are a Muslim or a Christian, this whole show must ring a bell. This is the person we have been warned about more than 1,000 years ago. If this happens, this is the Dajjal, the Antichrist. Be prepared. Project Blue.
The CIA recently declassified a book that says all of humanity will soon be wiped out in a global cataclysm. The book is called The Adam and Eve Story. Part 1 and 2 blew my mind and they're up on my profile. What really trips me out is that the events outlined in this book actually gives reasonable explanations to history's greatest mysteries, such as Antarctica, the lost city of Atlantis, the pyramids all around the world, Stonehenge, Easter Island, the forgotten Pacific continent of Mu, the list goes on. And virtually every religion in
Those are the most unexplained stuff in the world right now. All what he listed are the most unexplained stuff in the world that we can't explain.
ancient folklore and history talks of a catastrophe that resets the entire world. Like the famous Noah's Ark, the Hurricane flood of the Mayans, the Sumerians had the flood in Gilgamesh, and all written completely independent of each other and all prophesizing that it will happen again, aka Judgment Day. Same goes for the legends of the pyramids and all these ancient structures all around the world. Each of these cultures have an almost identical story of some greater being coming down and building these monuments for them, despite these ancient civilizations being tens of thousands of kilometers apart and never coming into contact with each other. Not a single one of them actually taking credit for these incredible achievements themselves. I don't know about you, but if I was some great civilization that built something as incredible as the pyramids, I would definitely want to be flexing on everyone about it. But these stories of the pyramids and worldwide floods, remnants of our advanced ancestors passed on to the Stone Age of the next civilization of humans. And again, the book that outlines these events has been dismissed by everyone as pseudoscience. But as we've seen, especially lately, the difference between pseudoscience and science is usually just time. This book was classified by the CIA up until 2013, so were they trying to hide something from us? The CIA recently...
But if they had classified that, why declassify it though? Why do that? Why declassify it?
The Denver airport theory is so creepy. No one knows why it was built because Denver already had a fully functioning airport in downtown. But this one went $2 billion over budget and took 2 years longer than expected to finish. It's rumored that it cost so much because it has a 5-story underground facility, which might be a doomsday bunker for the elite and rich or something much worse. But airport officials claim that it's just an underground baggage system that was never used. Throughout the airport, there's also disturbing and eerie murals depicting things like destruction and the apocalypse, and several gargoyle statues which are said to be symbols of protection. But the creepiest is this blue Mustang statue named Lucifer. It's 32 feet tall with glowing red eyes, and when the artist was making it, the head fell over him, which instantly killed him. But they still finished the statue and put it up. The airport also has 2 secret runways which are believed to be used by the government. And there's even a time capsule from 1994 buried inside which can't be opened until 2094, which might finally explain all of these secrets. What do you think they're hiding in the Denver airport? The Denver airport
Gary's conspiracy.
Yo, there's so many crazy conspiracies, bro. I swear I love this, bro.
Conspiracy theories in the world that will seriously change your life. So this right here shows all the conspiracy theories from the most well-known ones that we all know to the darkest of the dark. This series we're going to be going from the most well-known ones to the darkest of the dark, which will probably keep you up all night. Having to do the research into all of these is probably going to disturb the hell out of me, but you know, I'm doing it for you guys, so make sure you hit that follow button. Part 1. Let's go. Today we're going to be talking about Area 51, but not how you think. Trust me, this is wild. This guy right here is Bob Lazar. Now, he used to work at Area 51. Now, Area 51 is, of course, one of the biggest conspiracy theories out there. What is it? Why can't we go near there? Is it just a military?
If not the biggest.
Base. Bob claims he used to work there, reverse engineering alien craft. Now, this right here is his actual drawing of an alien craft. Yeah, crazy, right? This is where it gets mental. Absolutely mental. I think Area 51 is this place, right? According to Bob, this is not where all the crazy stuff happened. It's actually down the road here, in a place called Area S4. Area S4 is located up in the mountains, completely top secret, and nobody knows really what it is until Bob came out about it. Bob claims he would be taken to Area S4, which is an underground facility where he would work on the alien craft. Put the coordinates into Google and look at this place, it's just crazy. The road which leads straight up to it, the road ends right there and then there's just like holes in the ground. So there is definitely something there. What I'm saying is all from Bob. There is literally a documentary about this. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix, you may have seen it. Yeah. Let me know what you think because this is crazy. The series is about to get a whole lot crazier, so make sure you hit that follow button. I'll see you in the next one.
There's a location in the Western Sahara Desert of Mauritania called the Rishat Structure. It's also commonly referred to as...
That is hard to explain. This structure is hard to explain. I don't know what it is. Nobody knows what it is, but he's going to try to explain it.
the Eye of the Sahara. And what's so spectacular about this is that it just so happens to match what Plato had described as the lost ancient city of Atlantis. Plato had described Atlantis as made up of concentric circles, 3 of water, 2 of land, which matches the Richat structure. It also is said to have an opening to the sea at the south, and if you look at it from satellite imagery, you can clearly see that water had ran through it. And what people don't realize is that Sahara Africa, up until about 4,500 to 5,000 years ago, was totally green.
Water.
It was tropical.
Water.
It had one of the largest networks of rivers ever known to exist. Or it was said to have mountains to the north, and you just so happen to have mountains called the Atlas mountain chain, but it goes further than that. It turns out that the Sahara Desert is one of the least studied places on Earth.
There's so much that points to that possibly being Atlantis.
There's a location in the west.
That is true. Sahara, nobody wants to go there because if you run out of water, you're dead. You're dead. Sahara, and Atlantic. It's two most unstudied places on Earth, and the 2 most dangerous places on Earth. It's ridiculous, bro. You Lalo, you send me your link and you left, bro. When I was reacting to your fight in public thing, I already did. You send me your stuff and you left, and I was reacting to your fight in public, your fight in public prank. You left, bro. I was reacting to it. I was even calling your name, and the guy in the chat said.